Okay, so we're done. And again, if you don't want to work with the function editor or you have no ability, the terrain, I will save this terrain as well as a function. And if you purchase tutorials, those will be available for you to use. So let's click OK. Next, what I want to do is take my camera. Let's reposition right now slightly on the side. And we'll look up a little bit. So I'll go bring it right here. I want to have a slightly sideways kind of look, a little bit more kind of desert, so we can see those ridges come. And because our ridges is straight, if we put camera straight forward, they will just look like lines ahead. So what I like to do, I like give it this little bit angular dimensional look. It will give it better perspective what we have it with our terrain. And again, we'll adjust like maybe a little bit right here. And I think this should work okay for now. Next, depending on a scale, I'm going to the terrain, and well, let's look on the side. So right here you can see we have it 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer. So this is about right. If you think it's a little bit hot, tall, we can always just squeeze a little bit down. Let's bring back up right here. This is also can reduce some of the height of those mountains. Again, this is not necessary, you can do other ways, but I think this size is okay for what we're going to do right now. Working a little bit more with materials. Again, this is default material. At this time, what I want to do, it's going inside and render our preview so we can see what we have it as a shape, what's happening right now. Okay, so let's go ahead and click render. And you can see we have a nice terrain with a good details. We also have it a very nice, smooth, where we want to put it sand, and a little bit sharper with a lot of good details on top. I like how it's come up. Some of the shadows, don't worry about them sharp because we not yet work on atmosphere in this preview mode. But it is give you us a good view right now on all those small details we're going to use. Okay, now we can work on our materials. And first what I'm doing, I want to take this scale, and you notice right here it says 3.9. So I want to just take back to 1. And as well, we have this different coloring. I want to change this to create a little bit more sandy look. So we'll go unlock. And again, we're using it is new and Wood 2014 or in the Wood 12, where you can use multiple colors. You can use it just one single color or using different ways. So I'll show you 2 ways how we can do it for you. First, we'll go as a base, use this new system, natural grain, and I'm going to switch colors for mix for natural kind of blending. We'll go sanding, and this one maybe just slightly yellowish. Okay. Next, let's pop up roughness, maybe, you know, distortions, and take down contrast slightly. It's kind of mixing, creating those patches and playing between them, so we have a nice effect. And right here you can kind of try to adjust to create nice moments between. But again, this is basic settings. Okay, let's go add distortions. Maybe scale on those. Yeah, I think this is good base. Okay, we can always click and preview on the color. Okay, next what I want to do is apply one above. And how I said before, this is kind of new material. If you have it old one, okay, you can do different ways. So we can create a new material, and just let's go ahead, take flat white for this. Okay, one thing I want to verify our environment is set properly. We have it alpha boost to the 0 for now. Okay, and to modify colors, this is procedure color. We can always go inside right here. For example, preloading. some of the maps, or you can create your own. Let's go inside the rock grass, and I will just use it red, brown, yellow. Okay, and next we can go inside the function. Okay, and right here inside the function, we can go just create a simple grainy fractal grain, and just connect this right here. Okay, we can also same thing, apply it. Let's click OK, and right here you can see we have the same effect only through the function editor. Except right here it's overlay, kind of very strong. By working with environments, we can actually work slightly better on this. So what I want to do with environments, I want to have those peaks maybe poking out through that. So we'll go take our slope. Let's take slope and bring down to 19. So you can preview right here. We have now more on the flat areas. Okay, let's go next function, and we'll put it function maybe 0.4 on a Y. So it will stretch them slightly. This way it's what we want. We want kind of like sand almost. And as well, if it's a very strong color, you have two options. We can go to edit these colors, and we can go to set up a little bit less saturated. Okay, this is one way you can apply it, or next you can work with the overall color effect. So let's preview, and you can see right here we applied. We don't apply on those sharps, but it's add kind of more sandy look to our scenery. Of course, in the environment, I did it slope range, but what we want to do, we want to add a little bit of the fuzziness, so it's make smooth. When your colors is very close together, it's very hard to see in preview. Remember, you can always change preview color. So in this case, you can see with a like highlighter color, you can see distribution of this material over. So it's kind of helpful in some cases. Okay, maybe a little bit too much on a fuzzy. Let's take maybe down. Yeah, we have a little bit nicer effect. If you want to apply more effect of the sand, we can always go back inside the transparency, and we can add also function to our transparency, which will overlay over our distribution environmental. So it's kind of nice to combine. And let's, as example, we go create global transparency. We'll enable variable transparency, so we can start using function. We can also using by connecting directly to global transparency. The reason why I like to use this way, it will be a little bit more visible for you that you're using a function to this. So the same right here, we have our transparency, and we can connect transparency to our grainy fractal directly, or actually, if we want to add just on the edges of this, we can do a little bit more interesting effect. We can click right here. You remember we used it before a smooth map. So this is what we're going to do as well. We'll go to right here. We'll create smooth map. We're connecting our smooth map. Okay, we can go adjust some of these values if you need it. Okay, let's go set 0 right here. And we can now connect this to the transparency. So what is happening with this, it's a similar, but edges it's smooth. So we have a color, which is a bright on the edges, but we don't just cut here, we give it a little bit more the smoothness on the edge. So it's almost look like a highlight, and it's going to the dark, and after going to the color, almost like patches of the sand maybe blowing over that. Again, right here we can go and set, we had before above. You can also just set stretching inside the function, but if we do this, we want to go inside our function on the color and reset this one to 1. Okay, let's preview. Again, this is just different techniques what we can use it, and you can see we have a nice kind of like almost sandy now stretching going on our ground. Again, we did not touch any mountains right on the top. And let's go in the base, maybe increase just a little bit, give it more saturation on the rocks. Okay, they give it a little bit more distinguishing contrast from sandy and rocks. Kind of nicer transition at this point. Okay, so we add all of these effects, all layers. We can add even more layers to this, okay, and just create additional layers, more and more of them as you need it. So we can touch a little bit like on the top of those. So I also notice right here we have it our 0, 1. We can always switch this to pop up back to just 1. It just depends if the scale is work. Let's look, because maybe even smaller scale was look nicer. Now let's just give it good effect, good stretches. So again, play with scale as well. And let's go ahead and add something to the top. We're creating new layer, and I'll just have it white. Again, we'll do this very basic for this. So we'll have it 0 alpha, so it should be all cover. And we'll go switch this to the kind of grayish, maybe, you know, lighter. So we can do this way, or go up as it goes saturated, a little bit more red, like almost it's a lot of iron inside of the mountain. We'll go in environment, and we'll just take a little bit right here and bring it up. So again, you can see we're going a little bit higher on the mountain, but if you want to add to the edges, actually, let's take this side now, bring down. So we'll take a flat areas, we add more to the edges of this. And again, 10, maybe, you know, 4%. Fastness is kind of blending between those lines, so we'll add a little bit more this effect to the sides. You can see to those sides ones. Again, because alpha boost right now is 100%, we want to blend a little bit more naturally. So let's take a little bit down right here. Okay, we'll go preview. And you can see we add a little bit more reddish just on those mountains to pop them out of the environment. Again, this is just a preview. When we start work with atmospheres, we add more details. We maybe even come back to our terrain to reduce some of the details, so we'll see what's going on. But right now, this is nice starting. Let's go ahead, and the next tutorial we'll start adding some rocks maybe and plants to this.